Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Chair One Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And, we like to give you updates and let you know how things are going and the impacts in our community. Very glad to have back with us again, Mike Sobert. Mike, seems like we're gonna see you pretty often.
I was asking the young lady if I come one more time, does that give me reserved parking? Where I can just come right in anytime.
Yeah. 3 times a week is reserved parking, Mike.
Right,
3 times a week. But it's one of those things. Oh, absolutely. But it's one of those things where I'm glad that you're able to do it, and the reason is because we want to give people up to date and accurate information. Only way we can do that is do that through you, of course, General Manager for Chairman Parish Consolidated Waterworks District 1. Tell us some updates, if you don't mind, Mike. About
so I was here yesterday or the day before, and we talked a little bit about what to do and how we would look at it. And I mentioned that typically it's a two-pronged approach. One, right when the water starts, when the temperature gets to around 32, people start running the water. So that's a big demand for water. And then all of a sudden, the pipes freeze up and the water doesn't run. You don't really know if it's going to be broken or not. And then when it thaws, then there goes the water again. Well, we got through the first part with no problems. We got into the second part probably around 10 o'clock this morning. And it just started. That we probably gotten in 2 hours 100 calls of broken pipes that they have no idea where the shutoff valve is and what do we do and those kinds of things. I would like to shout out to our good friends in the Little Bayou Volunteer Fire Department. Chief Amanda and her crew has been out helping our 5 or 6 customer service reps going around just turning water off, or at least spotting the water leak and letting us know when we go and turn it off.
Correct.
So yesterday or before, I mentioned why pressure is so important, not only from hey, I took a shower, now I want to get the soap off, but more from a public health standpoint. If you lose pressure goes below 20 pounds of pressure, then there's a break. Then there's a possibility of outside matter, primarily bacteria, getting in the water. As long as we're pushing out, we're okay. So probably right now, the people in Bayou Black Gibson area know that we're under boil water advisory. The pressure has dropped down below 20 pounds. We're not doing real good from Presqu'île Isle heading south, in other words, Berg, Montague, Pointe-aux-Chenes, Chauvin, Robinson Canal, Cocodrie. They're operating off the tanks right now. They're already, because we can't get enough water to Presqu'île Isle to keep the pump running. So you go, well, I thought you said you had everything. We did. But when you can't get pressure, if you think about when everything calms down, go turn that faucet on and take the nozzle off. And you'll have water, You'll have a lot of water. It'll come out and it might go 3 or 4 feet. Put a nozzle back on and crank it down and let it shoot 20 feet out. That's the back pressure that you need to get pressure. So pressure, not only in the pipes.
Back pressure to push it. And that's
all
what
the pumps are running.
Understand.
We got water. It's just, it's leaking faster than we can put it back in. And get it there.
And so we kind of feel like that's where we are. We know where we are in the Gibson area. That's correct. And they're under a boil water advisory. We feel like pretty soon there will be some communication about Berg and south. Everything from south of Berg. Presqu'île south. Right between, Chauvin, Berg Road, there's a big pump station right there. South Terrebonne, that big standpipe that's right by the Prospect Street Bridge is draining rapidly, trying to keep that pump station full. The suction pressure is dropping, so the pressure is dropping on the backside. So it's just leaking more than I can put in it. And there's actually not much more we can do about it. It is the result of what happens when we have this cold weather. The smart way to protect your home, especially those that are elevated, with running water, just that pencil lead drip, you got to let it do that. And then the potential for busted pipes, which there are a number of.
Now it's happening. It got above freezing and the water is starting to thaw, and it's shooting out all over the place.
Right. And so we're losing water in those places.
Yeah, and we're losing it faster than we can put it back in.
We can put it back in. And again, it's that pressure. You can't get pressure unless you have back pressure.
That's
and
exactly
you need enough water
100%
and enough volume of water to do that with.
That is correct.
Well, again, it's one of those things where I know your team is working tirelessly
and
to make sure that they're going to continue to do that. And when you get calls, let's talk about that process. Oh my gosh, I think I have a water break. Let's talk about the process for your team.
So what will happen is during the daytime, you will get to dispatch. And we have 2 dispatchers that take all these calls, kind of cipher through, tell me who you are, where you're at. We don't need to know your account number. Just give me your address or your name and we can find you. Tell us what's going on. Then we have, as I said, the fire department's helping us. We have, I think, 9 of our own customer service reps, we call them, that will go out, ascertain what's going on, shut the water off, and say, okay, you know, if you go down the Bayou, that's right. It's right there. You can see it. A lot of these are camps that are not inhabited except on the weekend.
People aren't always there.
That's correct. And so and remember, they're 10, 15 feet up in the air.
Typically, all of those down there have to be elevated because of flood issues.
Almost all of them have PVC plastic pipe. That is not wrapped or anything else. And so it's just prime. You know, it's just prime. And you don't look at much, but a 1/2-inch water pipe will give you 20 gallons a minute. That's 1,200 gallons.
Yeah, and if you open that up, it's
and you got hundreds of them. We've had over 100 calls of broken pipes since 10:30 to 12 o'clock today.
100 calls in 90 minutes. More than one call a minute from 10:30 to 12. Well, Mike, we appreciate, as always, just people knowing this is where we are. And if we get those updates, we'll push that information out.
We appreciate it.
It'll go out through your website.
Pay attention on the website, and you guys like and share us. Like we do you, and everybody will know.
We'll get out. Keith, Mike, again, thank you to you and your team. And we always want to make sure we're getting that information out. So thanks again.
Thank you so much.
All right. And that will do it for this particular segment. But don't go anywhere. A whole lot more local programming right here on HTV.